Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you once again for stopping by and for joining me on these conversational chats where we talk about life. We just chop it up on over here on my channel. Yes, we do. We talk about real life issues that it can be difficult to discuss, very difficult to discuss, and sometimes you just want to know if there are other people out there that is experiencing what you're experiencing. So we talk about relatable conversations, relatable topics. So I am glad that you are here joining me on this journey of conversation. Thank you. Today's video is going to be about suffering in silence. But first, before we get into the topic of this video, let's check out the sponsor of our conversation today, which is my brand new book, The Hush Language Mental Health Journal Youth Edition. It is this book right here. Go ahead and click the link down below this video, and it's going to be in the description bar as well. Click it, use code YAY10, that's YAY10 for 10% off your purchase. Again, this is the Hush Language Youth Edition Mental Health Journal. Let me say it right. The Hush Language Mental Health Journal Youth Edition. I'm getting tongue-tied on my words. That's all. Because it's early in the morning and it's almost time to go to work. But yes, so support your girl. Your support is greatly appreciated. Anywho, now we can get into the topic of this video. And it is a heavy topic. It is a heavy topic. Not to say that any other topics aren't heavy that we've discussed. They are. But this can be a heavy one too because it can be a dangerous place. Suffering in silence. Now, I know we've all been there before, the majority of us, and even people that you think are not dealing with anything or don't have any heavy issues. They seem happy. Trust me, some of them are going through things behind closed doors and you would never know. You would never know. So don't think that you are alone. But for us who wear our heart and our feelings and our emotions on our sleeves, meaning people can see when we're dealing with something, it shows through our expressions. Me being an empath, it shows highly when I am dealing with something. When I'm happy and excited, ooh, I'm smiling, I'm laughing, I'm giggling, I'm having a good time. When I'm hurting, you can feel it and you can see it on me. And it can be a blessing and a curse, but that's just how it is for a lot of us, you know. And so suffering in silence can be a very dangerous place, very dangerous place. Meaning that if you are going through something very difficult in your life, maybe it's a life transition, maybe you're dealing with the traumatic experiences, maybe you're dealing with just so much and you're going through the motions and you're not talking about it to anyone, you're not opening up and expressing what you're going through to anyone, and it's getting to the point where it's just too heavy. It's weighing on you physically, it's weighing on you mentally and emotionally. You don't want to do anything. You're falling into this anxious, depressive space. And that's when it becomes really dangerous because if you don't have the tools to pull you out of it, then it can take you to places that you just don't want to be in. Trust me, I've been to those negative mind places and they are dangerous and they are not those places does not have your best interests at heart. Those places does not want to see the light in your life at all. Those dark places will suffocate you. They will um, eliminate every good and perfect thing in your life because you become so distant from people, from life. You separate yourself mentally. You can be in a room filled with people, but you're just disconnected. And I found that I was like that quite a bit. And up until recently, I had an experience where it was like an out of body experience, and I felt like here I am suffering in silence, about it. And I'm not expressing to anyone what it is that I'm dealing with. And I know sometimes we don't want to share everything. We don't want to talk to most people about what we're dealing with in fear of them using your story and your pain against you in fear of them not caring or not understanding how. Let me tell you something. Most people do not know how to have empathy for a person. That does not mean that they don't care. Most people may say the wrong thing to you when you're expressing and going through. That does not mean they don't care. And that's something that I had to learn the hard way. And I'm still learning today, but I am aware of it. That if a person that you are expressing your pain to um, doesn't really uh, respond in a way that is empathetic, it is understanding, um, for the most part now, because there's some cruel people out there that just don't care, right? But for the most part, it does not mean that they are not, um, they don't love you, you know what I mean? And that they don't care. It doesn't mean that. It just means that they are not equipped with the right mental tools to handle what you're telling them, so they don't know how to show that empathy. They don't know how to show what you need. And it can come over time for a person. The longer you're around them and they get to know you more, that empathy could really grow and come over time for them, learning how to care um, for you in those moments that you need them. But suffering in silence is dangerous. It is dangerous. I've had a lot of experiences growing up where I would just suffer in silence about things that was happening to me in my childhood, things that was happening in those moments. And I would get myself up. I would find a way to get to the small Baptist church that I had joined and sing in the choir, be in the youth department. But I was very quiet and shy and kept into myself. And I had this internal feeling in myself um, that I just couldn't, I could not open up. I could not share what I was dealing with because I didn't know how. No one ever taught me how to communicate growing up. It was always closed doors, closed mouths, non communicative relationships within the um, bloodline, right? Um, we never expressed to each other love, empathy, support. We never expressed to each other any of that, but we were really taught, the number one thing we were taught to do in the family was uh, to hold it in, to not talk about it. It's not okay to talk about it. It's not okay to express. It's not okay to share what you're going through. And then when you grow up, people look at you like you crazy because you don't know how to do these things. These are social skills. These are things that people believe that you should be taught while you're growing up. And although that is true, not everybody is taught that way. And so you grow up not knowing how to be relatable to other people, and it can really hinder your progress, because they not understanding, because in their life they had it grown up, so they think you should have had it grown up too, and they looking at you like you too old for this, blah 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 blah, right? And you're looking like, isn't everybody like this? I don't know, but at the end of the day, you deal with a lot, and let's get back to me. I dealt with a lot, and I didn't know how to communicate that, so I suffered in silence a whole lot as a child. I really, really suffered closed mouth. When I tell you, I tried my best. I fought. I really tried my best to open up, to exist, to be noticed. Someone pay attention to me. Someone notice that I am here. Someone please notice that I am here. Please. But I was doing it all in silence. And it really put a damper on who I was trying to be. It put a damper on that, and people couldn't understand. And then as I grew older, because I still didn't have those skills, right? Those social skills, those relatable skills, I didn't have it. As I grew older, it became very difficult to form relationships and to stay in committed relationships with either significant others or friends, family. It became very difficult. And I knew that I could not suffer in silence any longer, that I had to begin to tell someone. And it came through the writing of my very first book. It was a poetry book called Mirror to My Soul. I wish I had a copy right now. It's in the room somewhere to show you guys. But 242 pages of poetry. I poured my heart out in that poetry book, right? Learning experience, but my very first book, right? Then the Hush Language memoir, my second book, my journey, my stories, which I am rewriting that book and re-releasing that book very soon. Stay tuned. It came out through that. So it began to pour out it through a lot of my writing. But then I said, okay, Toy, you're still suffering in silence. You're telling it to paper. You're talking to God, but you're suffering in silence. You need professional help. You need to get some help. So then I started to advocate for therapy in undergrad. At SF State University, I sought out therapy, before class, after class, whenever I can get it, because it's free when you are a student. You get X amount of sessions throughout the semester or throughout the year, right? So I explored that, and then I explored therapy after college. I explored it, still exploring it, and I think that I have um, develop these social skills, these skills of being relatable. I've learned how to open my mouth. I've learned how to communicate and talk. And it's not always like that. Sometimes I have my moments. I really, really do. And people around me can attest to that. I do have my moments sometimes. But I'm a work in progress. And I have grown so much. Round of applause. I've grown so much. So baby girl, Toy, I see you. I notice you. You exist. You are here. You are doing the thing. Okay, you are doing it. So my encouragement to anyone out there, whether you're youth or you're adult, hold on. Do not give up on yourself. Suffering in silence is dangerous. It can really tear you down. Get help. Speak to someone. Get professional help. Talk to a loved one. Write it down. Whatever you can, but don't allow yourself to stay in that mental place where you suffer in silence and it becomes very detrimental to your health and to your life overall, because it can get to that place. Don't let it kill you is what I'm basically saying. Don't let it kill you by your own hands. And I've been there. I've been here. So my encouragement to you is, when you get into those places where you feel that you're suffering in silence, cry it out, write it out, but most importantly, talk to someone, seek professional help. They are there to help you. You might have to go through a few therapists to find the right one for you, and that's okay too. But seek help. Better late than never, no matter how old you are. Like I said, you can be a youth or you can be an adult. No matter how old you are, it's not too late. Okay, so that is my topic today. I hope it touched you in a way that really manifests positivity and give you some type of warmth in knowing that there are other people out there experiencing what you are experiencing and going through what you are going through. I thank you again so much for joining me on this journey, for watching this video. Until next time, go ahead into my website, check out the links below, click on the link, use code YAY10, that's YAY10 for 10% off your purchase. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you guys for chopping it up with me today. Bye for now.